Right, if we could just start then, if that's all right, with how is the preparation going for this upcoming game against Morecambe? Are there any injuries or fitness concerns in the squad? Of course, Sean Long had a nasty head collision against Burton. How's he doing?
Yeah, Longy will be struggling, I think. I've just seen Gav this morning. Longy's in with him, but I think Longy will struggle. He's still got a bit of swelling on his head.
Did he have a concussion? Clearly afterwards, how did the concussion protocol go? What did it tell you afterwards?
No, I think they did the concussion protocol on the pitch. Assessed him immediately on the pitch, and he was fine. I think when he came off, he was a little bit disorientated. I don't know for certain if he was concussed or not, because Gav's still been in with him this morning.
Okay, obviously up against Morecambe now, against tomorrow, and you've got MK Dons on Saturday. Just how important are these next two fixtures? Of course, Morecambe 23rd and MK Dons bottom of League One.
No, I think they're all important. I don't prioritise any one game over any other game. Go out we try and pick a team and a game plan to get a result in every game.
Cheltenham beat Morecambe twice last season, home and away by 3-1. How confident are you of repeating that result tomorrow at Water Road?
I think just because you won the last one, it doesn't necessarily owe you the next one. So obviously we've done our homework on them. They had a good result at the weekend, beat Barnsley. They got a point at Burton the week before that, so certainly won't be taking them lightly or thinking that just because we beat them last season, we just have an entitlement to rock up and we'll take the points.
How is confidence in the squad? That's three defeats on the bounce in the league, 1-0 to Burton. How is confidence in the squad? How are you finding things?
My confidence in the squad, or the confidence within the squad?
Generally in the squad and yourself, if I may, yeah.
No, my confidence in the squad is still absolute. I think within the players, there's always peaks and troughs, but I don't think they're going to let. I'd be amazed if they let. Listen, we weren't very good at Burton at the weekend. There's no getting away from that, but I won't let that define the players or define the group.
And you said after the game against Burton to us that you wanted a fight and scratch like against Burton. Are you looking for a similar approach in this game?
Well, we're always looking to fight and scrap. I think that's a prerequisite of any performance. So yeah, I'm looking for us to fight. I'm looking for us to scrap, but we have to find a better balance than we did against Burton. We've had a couple of, I think even over the past, this season and last season, we're trying to find a formula that better serves us away from home. We tried something slightly different away at Burton, didn't quite work. But you live and learn from trying.
And we heard some of the fan reaction, not necessarily positive after the Burton game. What would your message be to the supporters at this time?
I would just say stick with us. I do understand the frustration, and I think fans have got a right to vent that. I think from experience, what I don't want is that to spill over into something that then everybody regrets later, because at the end of the game, I think emotions are high, the players' emotions are high, the fans' emotions are high. I think potentially that can become a flashpoint, which is what you don't want and which I'd rather avoid. But I've no problem with it being a dialogue between fans, players, staff, because I do think we're all in it together.
For now, Wade, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Wade, have you
Got
have you watched the game? Can you hear me, Wayne?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Go on. I can't see you. I can hear you. Go on.
Have you had a chance to watch the Barnsley game yet, or have you spoken to Michael since Saturday?
I've watched it and I've spoken to him. Yeah.
Was it a deserved win and for them, getting them back on winning ways after a bit of a winless run?
Yeah, I would against a Barnsley are a good side, so they had to perform. They had to perform really well. Yeah, I thought they didn't create loads of chances, but you probably wouldn't expect them to against a resolute team. But they were dogged and they were organised, and it was a really good win for them.
Yeah, with Sean Long struggling, good that you got Charlie Ragdon back. Will he be captain? Is he effectively vice captain if Sean Long isn't on the pitch and he is? Will he have the armband?
There's a few of them. So if Longy's on the pitch, Longy's captain, and then there's a group of seniors who know if Longy's not available between them want to be captain. So generally, when Longy's not been on the pitch, it's been Rags.
You chose to play Lewis Freestone at left wing back on Saturday. Was that partly due to the size of Burton and the long throw and that sort of thing? Was it sort of specifically for that game?
Yeah, a little bit. We knew a lot of their threat came from wide play. Knew they had a physicality about them, and it was to try and have a bit of be solid, be resolute, be hard to beat, and feel our way into the game. Obviously, we've last 2 away games prior to Burton, we've had to, we've conceded really early, and we haven't stayed in the game or given ourselves the best chance. So the thinking prior to Burton was certainly early on we'd come under a lot of pressure. So could we be solid, stay in the game, and the later the game went and the more it opens up, could we then start to be a bit more expressive and expansive? Now, it obviously didn't quite pan out like that, and we ended up focusing too much on being solid and hard to beat, and we never got to the expressive part. But yeah, that was the thinking before the game.
You are unbeaten on Tuesdays in the league this season. Good point at Fleetwood, and obviously wins at home, Cambridge and Bolton. It does seem to be a sort of special atmosphere on Tuesday nights under the lights at the completely Suzuki Stadium. So, how important is there a decent atmosphere again for this one?
Yeah, I think when I was a player, I enjoyed night games more for some reason. Whether it was, I don't know, the floodlights or the bit of a crackle in the atmosphere, but I think players generally do enjoy night games. It's a slightly different atmosphere. I don't know if people have been at work all day and it's a release, and but I think your question was how important is the atmosphere, and it is big. Our ground can be, I think when we're on it, our ground can be, I know it's not the biggest and we don't have the biggest numbers in the world, but it can be noisy, it can be on top of opposition, it can give us an extra percent.
With Sean Long out, Wade, how's Grant Horton? Because obviously you could do with him in the reckoning, but you have also got Tom Bradbury if you need another centre half. But is Grant? You said he had a setback last week.
Yeah, Grant's probably going to be about 3 weeks. He's due to have a scan today, Grant. So without preempting the scan, thinking probably about 3 weeks until I hear different.
Yeah, so would that mean Tom Bradbury will come into the reckoning for Tuesday?
Well, Tom's in the. I know Tom wasn't in the squad anyway, but he is in the reckoning. We just have to pick. We try and see the way the game's going to go. Look at the load of people in the week who might fatigue, who might not, and we try and pick a bench around that. Which was why Tom wasn't in the squad at the weekend, but that doesn't mean that he's he's out of the picture or out of the reckoning.
And obviously you can't go all out gung ho just because you're at home against Morecambe. Like you couldn't second half against Bristol Rovers. But do you think you'll be encouraging the players to be off the leash a little bit more? Will that be spoken about more than they were on Saturday? Certainly.
Yeah, I think there's probably off the. That was a big takeaway from Saturday. I went and watched Southampton yesterday. Southampton are my team, and that was a game of two halves really. Second half they came out, got on the front foot, had a real go. The atmosphere in the ground was really good, and I think the fans responded to the team having a go, and the team responded to the fans, and I think we've probably got a little bit of an obligation to, as you say, take the leash off a little bit.